Welcome to our pick of the parks. There are so many across London, but which one should I go to? We give you our top 5. Are you ready? Stick with us. Here we go. At number 5, we have St James's Park, one of the many royal parks around London, and this is a great place to start. St James's Park is a beautiful park right in the heart of London. With the park surrounded by Whitehall, Birdcage Walk, Buckingham Palace and the Mall, it is right in the heart of London. This chalet is to the north of St James's Park and is also known as Duck Island. With its own flowers, vegetables and herbs, this is a great place to start your tour of St James's Park. We had a long list of parks to put into our top 5, but we finally whittled these down and we've based it on a family coming up to London and getting the most out of the views and activities that are around. Without doubt, there is something extremely attractive about a park with lakes and water, so hence St James's Park definitely makes it into our top 5. Not only do you get the normal swans and ducks, but here at St James's Park, you also get something slightly different as well. And as we focus in on this fountain and the rocks around it, yes, they are pelicans. The lake at St James's Park stretches all the way from Whitehall right the way down to in front of Buckingham Palace, so there's loads of water and lots of aquatic birds that you can look at. And when you get to the other end of the lake, you get this, the classic view of Buckingham Palace. Also, the great thing about the wildlife here at St James's Park is you never know where you're going to bump into it, or it's going to bump into you. And yes, this is on one of the main paths. You quite often find the pelicans here. It also goes to show how big they are. Plus, here at St James's Park, you have amazing flower beds, which are tended by the royal park keepers all the year round, so they always look fantastic. Unlike some of the parks in central London, this is not a very big one, so it doesn't take that long to walk right round it, so you can get to see everything. Also, you never know where you're going to come across the wildlife. Here, this heron just having a little preen right by the side of the water. And you've got lots of these parakeets as well, flying around. If you're coming to St James's Park, one of the places we really recommend you go is here where I'm standing at the moment, and you get the view of Buckingham Palace you just had, and this as well of the pelicans on the rock. And this is known as the Blue Bridge. But as we pull back, look at this view across the lake. The buildings behind the trees are Whitehall, and yes, that is the London Eye. There's plenty of space here at St James's Park for sitting down having picnics or having a good run around or kicking a football around. Here's the Blue Bridge we talked about just now, and this can get extremely busy in the middle of summer, so do wait your turn, but make sure you get some great pictures whilst you're on it. And how about these parakeets all lined up, ready for your attention? Actually, they're probably ready for your food, but that's a completely different subject. When I was walking down here, there was a child in a pushchair and the parakeets were extremely interested in seeing what he had to give. So at 5, St James's Park. Now we move on to number 4, which is Regents Park. This park is to the north of the West End, up near Baker Street Tube Station. You also have Lord's nearby, and of course, if you're going to London Zoo, that is in the far north corner of Regents Park. A large park, Regents Park, with a big lake. And the great thing about this one is, and you can see those blue objects off in the distance there, they're boats you can hire to row right into the middle of it and have great family fun time rowing around in the middle of the lake. Like a lot of the wildlife in London, it's extremely tame, as you can see here with these birds. And this lady comes here regularly and feeds bread. So if you're thinking of coming down to the parks, it might be worth considering to bring your own food, unless you don't, of course, want to be attracted by the wildlife. Here we're on the west side of Regents Park, but as you walk round you'll see there on the northwest side you've got the London Central Mosque. And this is right by the St John's Wood area and opposite Lord's Cricket Ground. So the area we're in here is in the Hanover Gate Children's Playground area, which also has that small lake, and also this, the Boathouse Cafe, which has a glorious view over the lake. And just to remind yourself that you are in central London, because it doesn't feel like it, that off in the distance there is the Post Office Tower. Yes, we are in central London. Regents Park is really easy for everyone to get to, and also really accessible. All the paths are well laid out, so if you have a wheelchair or pushchair or any other needs, then it is well catered for. And also the great thing as well is you keep turning different corners and you find different type of aspects of the park. Here you've got an amazing view over the lake, and also there's plenty of benches around so you can sit and just enjoy your time here at the park. If you're interested in the wildlife, there's lots of these guides around as well, just to help you see what's going on and also know what type of birds, etc. that you're looking at. The other great thing about Regents Park and a lot of the places in London, they're so Instagrammable. So if you've got your Instagram account, how about having one here on this blue bridge? Why not be the envy of all your followers? You'd think in a park like this it'll all be quite open and you wouldn't be able to get any quiet, any peaceful space, etc. for yourself. Well, how about this? You've got lots of overgrown areas, so if you want to go exploring or the children want to go running off through the woods with you, then you can do. That's the great thing about Regents Park. It's got a bit of everything for everyone. With water being so much in the park here at the boating lake, there's great little bridges that just go backwards and forwards across. The whole park has a road going round the outside called the Outer Circle. And then there's a small part of Regents Park which has another circular road going round it called the Inner Circle, which we're about to head over to in just a couple of seconds. And this has some beautiful places as well. This is Triton and Dryad's Fountain, and just look at the colour of the water in this. Beautiful. Also a place you must come to is the Queen Mary Rose Gardens, which are absolutely gorgeous when they're out in bloom, and they have all different varieties of colours. It's beautiful, and the smell from the roses are absolutely incredible. Now on the Inner Circle there's another small lake, and this is really important because this takes you to another beautiful part of Regents Park. This takes you to the Japanese Gardens, and here we're crossing the bridge to the Japanese Garden Island. but the view onto the Japanese waterfall is incredible. You watch out for this. There is something completely mesmerising about running water, and when it's coming down waterfalls like this, it's beautiful. So whatever you do, make it over to this Japanese garden here at Regents Park and come and spend a bit of time here because it's beautiful. So we've been to St James's Park and now we've been to Regents Park, and here at number 3 it's Hyde Park. Hyde Park is part of a massive open space which has both Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens, which is separated by the Serpentine for one part of it and Long Water at the other, which almost splits the two parks into two and makes the biggest green space in central London. Here we're by the side of the Serpentine, and again the lure of the water brings you close. And just look at that, how about that for views? That is the West Carriage Drive, which separates the two parts of Long Water and the Serpentine, and that takes you right down, and the building you can see right off in the distance is the Hilton Hotel at Park Lane. Now here we're up on the bridge, but look at the views across the West End, and can you just see the London Eye there behind that building? Yep, get some amazing views from up here. Now you can see all the birds out on the Serpentine, and very shortly we'll be joining them in this video. If it's something indoors that you want to do, as you may have seen already, there are a couple of galleries around in the middle here, so don't hesitate to go in there. You've got the Serpentine Gallery, and this one is the Serpentine North Gallery. If coming to the park, setting up a picnic, lazing about, sitting around watching the world go by, kicking a football, as you can see there's plenty of space, and this is only part of it. Also, these deck chairs give you a fantastic view over the Serpentine, so if you've got people out on boats, it's a great place to come and watch from. Speaking of which, should you get on a boat? This is what it looks like when you get out into the middle of the Serpentine, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Hire a boat and get out there. Each of the pedalows take up to 4 people, but I promise you it is so worthwhile doing it. And also you can go up as far as the bridge that we showed you earlier. Also, there is a Lido up on the left hand side as you go up towards the bridge, so you can see people swimming in the lake, but it is cordoned off, so you're not going to bump into them, I promise. Now the final place we want to show you here in Hyde Park, which is actually part of Kensington Gardens, is the Princess Diana Memorial Fountain, and this is another fantastic place to bring the children to come and dip their toes into the water of this running water exhibition. It's around and open most of the summer, so do get down here. It's a great way to cool off in the heat. We go from Hyde Park to number 2, Holland Park. Yes, we're moving up our pick of the parks. Now Holland Park wouldn't be near the top of many people's lists for the top 5 parks to visit in London, but we thought we'd add it because not only is it different and it's probably going to be a bit quieter, but it's got a bit of something for everyone. So first of all, how about this for a children's playground area? Because remember, this is a family-friendly top 5 parks in London. This area is massive and with plenty of benches around so you can sit and watch, or alternatively make sure you've got a fully charged phone and catch up on your latest social media or emails or whatever on your mobile. This is a great place to come, and they can burn off the energy like nobody's business. As you can see, as an adventure playground, it's pretty big and something to keep everyone entertained. Oh, by the way, did I mention it's free as well? Yes, no money. Now, this is a park that doesn't have its own lake, but it does have a couple of water features. Here, in the middle of the park, you've got this water fountain feature here. Plus there's another spectacular water feature to come. This is a great area to come because right by here you've also got this toddler's playground as well as a cafe, so you can get your refreshments and come and sit by the water fountain whilst everyone runs around and you can have a nice coffee. See, thinking of the whole family's needs. Right, now to the other spectacular water feature, and this is the second Japanese garden in London. So we already showed you one at Regents Park. This is the Kyoto Gardens and this is in Holland Park. As you can see, it's its own separate walled area, and this is just brilliant to come and stand by. So not only have you got the water rushing down the waterfall, but also in the water you've got large koi carp as well. Another great thing to keep everyone entertained. So that's number 2, Holland Park. But where is our number 1 choice of parks to go to? Our number 1 choice for parks to visit in London has to be the Olympic Park over in East London in Stratford. For us, this park has got a bit of everything. Not only have you got the open water, but you've got so many things that the children can do as well, and let us share those with you. The park is much more compact than some of the other parks that we've been to, but it has so much to offer. For views, greenery and wildlife, this is just a brilliant place to come. Another great thing about the Olympic Park is that you are encouraged to bring your bikes down, and this is a great place to cycle because not only can you cycle right across the top, but if you haven't got a bike with you, you can hire one of the Santander, the old Boris bikes, because there's a number of stations there as well. For those budding time trialists on their bikes by the velodrome, there's actually a street circuit you can go whizzing round, and you don't actually need to pay or book in advance. You just literally put your bike on the track and off you go. But don't tell anyone we said so. With the main buildings still there for you to visit, you have the velodrome, which is quite prominent, especially as you come down the A12 as you're heading towards that way, otherwise known as the Pringle. And of course you've got the aquatic centre, which is open if you want to go in and swim. You do need to check on local websites, but you can go in there and swim during the public swimming time. And of course you've got the Olympic Stadium at the back there. Of course there's also the Orbit, which you can climb and get amazing views from London from the top platforms, and you can either take the lift up and then walk down. Alternatively, you can also take the lift down as well. And also don't forget, it's the world's longest slide, comes down from the top panel as well. Now, one of our favourite things and a little known secret is up by the velodrome, and it's here, the adventure playground, which is hidden behind these trees. Yes, it's an adventure playground. It's open, you can go in, and it's free, and it doesn't cost a penny. And it's absolutely fantastic. In fact, we spent a whole morning just in this bit alone. I didn't actually think we were going to go anywhere else. Also, the good news is if you come down here at quieter times, you'll also find that big kids, such as adults, will be climbing on here as well. So yes, you can get up there. The only limitation is the size of some of the stairwells, because actually it takes a bit of effort to get up there because they're more made for children. But if you get stuck, that's your issue, and we didn't tell you to go up there. Okay, there you go. I think that covers that. The adventure playground is the start of the children's sort of play area and goes down the side of the Olympic Park. So not only have you got the climbing area, but you've also got this slide as well, which keeps people entertained for ages. But also as you go further down behind the bushes, there's other things, other trails, balancing bars, and other things that you can play on all the way down and through. The last bit of the trail ends up near a cafe, always a good excuse, and it ends up with this big sandpit area and also this climbing bridge as well, another great area, not only to have coffee, sit back, watch the children have fun, but also use the facilities as well. Now here, we're on the other side of the main road which leads to Westfield, so it's on the other side of the Olympic Park, right by the stadium. Around this area, you've got different types of workout equipment, and each piece of equipment's got instructions on there how to use it. Now, if it's anything like us, the children sat on there, played and did their own thing and went, oh, I'm not actually doing it like, but they got lots and lots of fun from it. Now, the other part around here as well, which is down by the water, so it's not quite often seen, is this climbing wall. Now this is open all the time, so it's left to your own safety to be able to do it, and that's a gravel pit down below. But you can climb up the first section, get across and then climb up the second section as well. Plus there's also ladders to get up to the top section. This was great fun, and we found we just sort of traversed the wall as opposed to climbing up and then use the ladders to get up to the next section. But it's a great way of having a bit of fun down by the river. Now, as you will have got an idea already from our selection of our top parks across London, they involve water. And yes, number one here at the Olympic Park is no different. That's a great little bridge you can go across, a little cobbled bridge. But the main water feature that we enjoyed the most here at the Olympic Park was this, going out for a ride on the Pedalo Swans, which you can do right underneath the orbit. And it's the other side of the aquatic centre as well. And you can hire these swans out on the water for half an hour or an hour, take your choice. The only areas they don't want you to go to is by the banks, because quite often they have nesting birds. But this was great fun. For us, the Olympic Park has everything on the water, adventure playgrounds, plenty of space to walk around or cycle around, and plenty of places to stop and enjoy the world as well. So I hope you've enjoyed our pick of the parks. If you want some more ideas of some great places to go to whilst in London, which are outside, so you can get some fresh air and have a great time in the summer sunshine as well, then I've put a playlist up in the top right hand corner for you, some other places we suggest. Thanks for watching.